Hello, this is Steve David Chief Spiritual Officer for the LoveMakers Foundation, a 501c3 religious charity. Actually, it's a spiritual charity whose purpose is to bring love to the world. And just as importantly, to bring love to each and every one of us. I have a special guest today who's very special, Deborah Toyas-Kozik, our CEO. Deborah, how are you today?
I'm wonderful, and I'm very happy to be here.
Well, we're happy to have you here because she'll be participating in our love message today, which is titled Self Love, Do the Best You Can. And this is part 2 of our 3-part series. You know, the bottom line is we talked about self-love last week, and people talk about it a lot in society. We took a sort of a spiritual look at self-love and awareness of self-love last week. Today's part 2 is going to talk about the essence of self-love, and Deborah's going to take it from a perspective of awareness from other activities or other environmental things that may have affected your perception of love and of yourself. You know, self-love is, again, a sacred recognition of who you are in life. It's your heart, your presence, they all matter now. It's the inner agreement that says, I will treat myself with compassion, love, non-judgment, and just love myself. It's the quiet courage to keep going. You know, it's a liberating truth. And as I talked about last week, it's part of a protocol of awareness, of finding passion, of being and acting in love by being kind, compassionate. And that's how it's time for self-love, to do that to yourself and to trust yourself. You know, self-love, and this is a great quote from somebody unknown, self-love is giving yourself permission to be both a masterpiece and a work in progress at the same time. Now, with that, I want to turn it over to Deborah, who she's been on the path to love. She is love. And Deborah?
Well, thank you. And to be on the path of love and to be able to, I think in our conversations as of late and in talking with a lot of our love makers and with what's going on out in the world and personally, individually, is to be able to identify what love is not. Even Jesus said to love your neighbor as yourself. So how can you do that if you can't identify or haven't been given the tools to identify what love is not? And we could be misguided into what those feelings or way people may treat us or how we may treat ourselves to believe that it's okay. So we're going to talk a little bit today about how to identify those feelings or those ways of possibly feeling that it is love, and that would be an emotional way or a physical way or even a spiritual way of feeling that belittling is okay, or that judgment is okay, or making you feel less than is okay. It's not. Jesus spoke about love being a way of recognizing that you are of Christ's mind and that you are of love. So when we learn to identify what love is not, then we can choose wisely to not participate or to walk away from those types of behaviors or to set healthy boundaries.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
How does all these boundaries and the external, how does that affect your ability to love yourself?
You stay stuck in fear. You aren't able to do and be yourself. You possibly could allow yourself to feel shamed and not worthy and not to have self-compassion because you begin believing what the other person might be or the other group might be.
So what you're saying is not, you know, the problem is maybe people tear you down. You had a bad childhood. You've had bad learnings, bad relationships. All this negative energy has come into you. What you're saying is that really tears down your self-worth and your ability to love yourself.
Yeah, because you believe it as truth.
Well, how do you build it up again?
You learn to identify what love is at a deeper, higher consciousness level, and to follow Jesus' example of knowing that you are love and that you are love and that you come from a place of love. So what I like to practice and what I share with my clients and with our love makers is that when we learn to shift our belief and identify that whatever God is, we are too. It's an energy of I am that I am. It's love's most powerful love energy. And when we can believe in that love, then we can be empowered with that love and that self-compassion to be able to identify what love is not, to choose what love is. And then that'll put us on a healthier course, and a course where we can claim our birthright, which is to be love in action, to believe in love, to commit to doing our best, to be love, share love, teach love. And then that becomes a synchronistic energy that we can share with ourselves. First of all, we want to love ourselves first, because how can we love others if we don't love ourselves first? So
yeah, and again, that's what this love message is about: doing the best you can. Observe where you are and just love yourself where you're at right now.
Exactly.
It takes a lot of positive energy to overcome the negative. And as Deborah said, do the I am, whatever it is you do. But what I say is, don't judge yourself. Accept yourself for who you are. Be nice to yourself, because you are love. And then everything else will start to open up. Your pathways to love and to God, to your high self, will open up.
Yeah, you learn to recognize that you are love itself, and that then you're able to like I said earlier, set healthy boundaries and say no to particular behaviors that might not support your highest good, and actually in some cases can save your life or someone's life.
Yeah, well, the key thing is what the Buddha said. You deserve love. We deserve love. You have to recognize and realize that that's true. Yeah. There are so many people, and I know Deborah and I, when we coach, when we do our love messages, we get our feedback, even our families, people, for some reason, it's very difficult to climb the path to loving yourself. But as Joan Didion once said, the great writer, she said, if you can't love yourself, how are you going to love others? That might be, I'm not sure that's 100% true, but the key is to be aware of where you're at in this life and just start loving yourself. I personally don't have to go through the I am. I just start loving myself anyway. I want you to start loving yourself now, because you deserve love. But you have to become aware that you deserve love and just start giving it to yourself, because if you don't, as I said last week, if you don't give it to yourself, who really is going to give it to you at the level you need to have it given? So give yourself love. Don't judge yourself. Just observe. Be nice to yourself. Accept yourself for who you are. Accept your situation where you're at. And love yourself no matter what the situation is.
But if your situation is a serious situation, sometimes you need to go above accepting it and to take steps to secure safety for yourself, reach out for help. And in that case, we do offer prayer support and spiritual counseling. And if you are in that kind of situation where things aren't feeling safe for you, do let us know, because we have phone numbers that can assist you as well.
Well, loving yourself includes taking care, protecting yourself. I haven't really been in that particular situation. I've represented clients in my past attorney life where people were being abused, and that's a difficult situation. But to love yourself means to get the heck out of Dodge. Protect yourself. Self-preservation, of course, is one of the essential biological needs of humankind and any animal. You have to take care of yourself, and that's part of it. But what I'm talking about, it goes beyond just self-preservation. To really become happy and joyful, you have to learn and to love yourself. And that's part of the path of becoming love, because once you do that, you transform and life looks a lot different.
As you become love, you believe in love and the power of love, and then you start acting in love. And as you do, then your heart just guides you to want to naturally help others too.
Well, acting in love, again, it's that inductive reasoning. Once you start acting in love, you can't help but to start becoming love. If you smile, it's hard to have a negative, if not impossible, to have a negative thought. So, taking love actions, being generous, being courageous, being kind and compassionate, that's going to open up your pathways to self-love, to more courage, to more confidence. And next week, we're going to talk about self-love as it relates to courage and the ability to do the impossible, the ability to believe in yourself, the ability to make the impossible happen. Deborah, I want to thank you.
Thank you.
Very much for your tremendous insight.
Oh,
You are love, and I appreciate your love energy that you give the world and give to me.
Well,
I'm blessed, and I think we're all blessed to have you in our lives. So I'll close with a prayer, and dear God, know this moment that we are love, that we have overcome obstacles and the negatives to not knowing what love is, but to understanding now, this moment, we understand what love is this moment. And we love ourselves unconditionally, no conditions, this moment. Pathways to God, pathways to prosperity, health, great relationships open up this moment because of our self-love. I release these words of absolute truth and thank our highest selves and God for this moment of this prayer and this release of this energy into the universe. So it is so. Amen. Amen. So, Deborah, why don't you close it up?
Oh, so we just invite you to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And do share with others your favorite love messages, because our mission here at LoveMakers Foundation is to bring love to each individual and to the world. So if something calls to you, please do share it. And let us know also if there's any subject or title that you would love for us to talk about as well. Thank you for your love and support. And remember, every day,
love is the way.
Love is the way. Love to all.